Good morning.
Hi, Sarita.
Okay. Candace, have you met Sarita yet?
I feel like I have in some form or fashion, but maybe not.
I think we might have. It's probably been a while though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's been a while. So hi.
Hello, how are you?
Watch out. She's coming for Roswell now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's bring it on.
Definitely coming for it. How are you this morning?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see Neha here. That's a great progression. So I'm glad you're on the mend there.
Thank you. I will try my best to be there every day now.
Good.
Beautiful. All right, we got some more people coming in. I want to today the exercise is to do some role play around our reverse bold 100 dialogue. So we're going to get to that here shortly, but Candace, why don't you start?
Okay, first I just want to hear what everybody, Sarita, what's going good in your world?
What's going good in my world is I have a lot of peace.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I have a lot of peace, but stepping back into real estate, so I'm excited about that. I'm also a cryptocurrency trader, and I help people learn how to get themselves involved and learn more about that in NFT. So I'm doing, quite a lot with, well, just those two, but I'm definitely happy with what I'm doing. And when you're happy with what you're doing, you can definitely be very successsul. So that's where I'm at.
We need to talk. I have some investment in crypto, so I'd love to get your insight.
Awesome.
Neha, what's going good in your world? What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my family, friends, and people like you around us who encourage us to, do more and more every day. But also I'm grateful to God who is showing me the path, how I can walk on this path and move forward with my real estate.
Love that. I love that. Ryan, how about you?
I don't know.
Sorry.
No, I guess some days you feel like, you don't have everything. Things aren't always going your way, but then, I've had friends that I just found out yesterday, a friend of mine, she all of a sudden had to have her gallbladder out, yesterday, like things that come up that you go, oh my gosh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
That happened, like, okay, I have that, my health. And another friend whose husband died suddenly last week, and you go, oh gosh, like, so you have to just remember to take things, don't take things for granted, and be thankful every day that you have your family and your health and everything else. So I guess I'm grateful I have all those things.
Yeah, I think Terry said yesterday she was grateful for breath, and I thought, wow, that's just so basic. If we don't have that, we don't have much. So, anyway, I'm glad you found that perspective. I'm sorry for all the things that are going on around you. And Terry, what are you grateful for today?
Grateful for everything, just the people that I'm able to be around, my little baby. Well, she's not a baby, she's a little kid, but I'm grateful for this planner I just got. For a lot. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for the good, grateful for the bad, grateful for everything.
Fantastic. I love that attitude. Wow. Lorinda, how about you? What are you grateful for? With an O.
I'm grateful for life because there's so much that's, we've lost so many people. And today, I guess, I'm reflecting on my loss. And so I'm grateful for life and that people are out of pain. Those that were in pain are finally out of pain and at peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Jenny, how about you?
I'm grateful for just the education and the support that I received from Keller Williams. And I guess on a positive note, also, I mean, another positive note, my mom had COVID recently, and she has a lot of health problems. So it's quite a miracle that she's doing much better. And I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm glad too. Crystal, how about you? What are you grateful for? Crystal, are you there? Okay, we'll come back to you. Ebony, what are you grateful for today?
Clarity, family, and friends.
Oh, love that. Tracy, how about you? Jaleesa, what are you grateful for? Okay. Well, I can speak for Bill that we are both grateful that all of you are here this morning. And we're going to continue our talk about reverse bold. If you haven't been on this call this week, we are holding a reverse bold 100 on February 23rd. And what that is we do a giveaway with our generous sponsors. And we, as individual agents, we advertise this. We're going to get a Facebook ad or an ad created that you can use on your social media. You can make phone calls to your database, emails, video text. And the goal is to have people calling in on the 23rd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. to register for the giveaway. And the script that we're going to go over today, right after this, is designed to gather information about who do they know who needs help with real estate and who do they know who might want a career in real estate. So the script goes over that. At 5 o'clock, we will do the live Facebook drawing. And you can each have your Facebook Live on. I think instead of doing a separate page for PC, we'll just each have our Facebook Live on, and we'll be, kind of like sportscasters are talking about the game. We'll be like that, talking about the Facebook Live and the drum roll up to the big giveaway. So now this morning.
By the way, the idea with that is if we were to do it the other way, we would have to direct people to some other page that they would have to like.
Yes.
And that might clutter the one of the main points, which is to get them to like your page, right? So if we get them to like your page, then you can have an event broadcasting the drawing as it's happening, and it'll just reduce the number of expectations that we're trying to do or ask them to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Jaleesa. We got that. So you're grateful for God, your family, and fun. I love that. Okay, so what we need you to do this morning is put on your business owner hats and really participate in this, because this is not something that's being done for you. It's definitely an opportunity for you, but it's something that we are all invested in together and that we're creating together. So we need some input from you. Our sponsors have agreed to $1,000. In some cases, because of RESPA, they're coming out of their own pocket. So it's very generous that we're going to have $1,000. We had been thinking of a Peloton or something like a mirror, but those come with those. In addition to the equipment, you have to have a monthly membership, and that might not be available or affordable for everyone. So do we want to give away? There's a couple of things we need to think about, and I'd love your participation on, or we'd love your participation on. Do we want to give one big gift, and what does that look like at about $1,000? Or do we want to give a couple of smaller gifts so we can have more than one winner? The other thing is, do we want to raise more money? And that would require those of you who have worked with vendors, your hairdressers, your insurance person, to sponsor on some level, maybe a $50 sponsor or a $100 sponsor. And if we get 10 people to have a sponsor for $50, then we have another, what would that be? $500. If we get 10 people to sponsor $100, that's $1,000. So then we have $3,000 to give away. So those are the two questions. Do we want to stick with $1,000? Do we want to go get more? And that would require each of you to reach out and do some fundraising, which will grow you like crazy. And then we're not asking for very much. And then the third thing is, do we want one big prize or do we want several prizes or 2 prizes? And what do those look like? Okay, somebody start. Gather your
Well,
thoughts.
let's do a quick, let's just do a quick kind of vote, if you will, on who's committed to doing this, who's in, and who wants to, you know, make sure, because these decisions are, I mean, they're obviously only relevant for the people that want to participate, but we really want to get some buy-in, because ultimately, the more that they see that we're committed to it, and then when we can go back and say, hey, we got 15 people committed to this thing, then we can go to the sponsors and say, hey, you know, we have 15 people that are going to be sitting in a room doing all kinds of advertising before and after this event. We're going to have 15 simultaneous Facebook Lives going on at the giveaway, and your name would be mentioned in those Facebook Lives as a vendor, as a sponsor. Yeah. Is that something you'd be willing to make a small donation to? Right. So the more people that we're going to touch, the more likely we're going to get sponsorship dollars from others. So as long as you share it. So who's interested? Let's just get a quick little RSVP here.
Lorinda, I see.
I'm
your hand.
interested. Yeah, I'm interested.
Ryan?
All right, just type yes in the chat. That way we won't have to. I can just look at the chat and make record of it while Candace, you keep leading the conversation on decisions.
What's the dates though? I'm gonna be like
It's
out of town for like 7 days.
February
Okay, so
23rd.
Yep.
The
February
23rd is
23rd.
for what? When we meet for it?
The
February
23rd.
23rd is the day of the event, right? So the goal is to have you do your promoting and ads and all these kind of things. And then on the 23rd, you're sitting in the big room at the office, and we're there receiving calls and, you know, having lunch and, you know, helping each other out and cheering each other on. And if the phone's not ringing, you're calling your people to make more contacts, all of that kind of stuff, right? The idea is we are creating an environment where touching 100 people in one day is normal, and touching not 100 people in one day is not normal.
Bill, what
And
are the
you-
hours again? What are
You
the hours?
plan on 8:30 to 5, and I'm getting sponsors for breakfast and lunch, although I've heard that there aren't very many breaks. You're probably going to be talking and eating because the phones typically will ring off the hook, which is just going to feel so great.
Yep. All right. So if you're interested and committed, go ahead and put a note in the chat. I'll look there here. What do you guys think about Candace's questions? Do you want to have more sexy prizes? Would you rather have one big prize, or, you know, for example, let's say a $500 prize and then like $400 or $500 prizes? Do you think you'd have some success in raising some additional money? What do you think we should do here?
Bill, I
like
think
the
the
idea of
idea is
multiple
great.
prizes.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
idea of multiple
multiple.
prizes is great, but we don't have enough time. We're already into under the 3-week window.
What do you mean? We're taking
I
care of the
agree.
prizes.
Finding other sponsors at this point would be tough.
Well, it's not tough, but you know, today is, you know, we're talking about doing this having this event on Wednesday. It's already Thursday. So if we go out this week and get sponsors, we have to start advertising what the gifts are like now. We
Yeah,
have to
we'll
start
have-
promoting it like now.
That's why we're having this discussion, because Hello Leverage is going to be doing the ad for us once we know what the
Yeah.
gifts are. So if we can decide those this morning, then I can send those pictures over to them and they can get that ad, so you can start advertising today. Because the goal is that you can,
Right.
if you want to run an ad for the weekend or whatever.
Right. And it's not this upcoming Wednesday, it's a week from this upcoming Wednesday.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks away.
Right. But you know, they were saying to have a successful reverse fold, you want to give yourself at least 3 weeks of promotion time. So I don't know, just my way in. I love the idea of having multiple gifts. I just don't think there's enough time to get out and touch our sponsors and to get a commitment, and then to be able to come back and say, okay, we can do a Peloton and we can do a Yeti. We can do a Peloton and a Yeti and a, you know, dinner for 2 at Chops.
All right. Well, let's
You know,
assume
there's
that
not-
we're going to make our decision on the prizes by the end of today.
And I would say the reason we chose the 23rd is because every other day there's something in the training room all day. That's the one
Sure.
day, the day after family reunion, where we have the whole room. So that's the reason why we chose it. We are rushed, but that's not, this is my philosophy in life.
I don't think we're rushed at all, to be honest.
Yeah, for every man-made problem, there's a man-made solution. And I think
Sure.
sometimes the urgency around having a shorter time frame means you're going to do more, you're going to make more phone calls to your database, you're going to do more in a much shorter time instead of putting it off, and doing it the last minute. So I know what you're saying, Crystal, but I think we can't let that stop us in this
Oh
particular
no,
thing.
Candace. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't have any intentions of saying it will stop us or hinder us. I think we should keep it simple and focus on one gift at this point, since we only have the 3 weeks, so we can promote whatever that one gift is by the end of today. I love the idea of touching vendors and going out and getting additional resources. I just think if we had a little bit more leeway to do that, that's just my own personal opinion. If we keep it simple, pick
Yeah.
one gift and then start promoting from this point out, and going big that way versus being scattered and trying to say, okay, who's going to respond? Did we get a vendor? How much did you get? How much did I get? How much did she get? And then trying to say, okay, what can we afford to add to the prize list? That's all. I just think we should keep it simple. If we have 1,000, let's pick our gifts from there and just promote from that point on.
We could
Just
also,
my opinion.
we could also just make a bet on ourselves and say, hey, I'm going to go get $50 from a vendor over the next 2.5 weeks, or I'm going to throw in $50 myself. And if we got
Sure.
10 people that want to commit to this,
Sure.
then
That's different,
we
yeah.
know that we're going to raise some extra money. I want to make sure we're focused on the fact that we've got 2 vendors that have donated $500 a piece, and this is a free event for you. Essentially, we're just trying to make it even better. Okay, so who else? Again, do we want to look for, like, one, let's say $500 prize and a couple of $100 prizes? Do we want to do what ideas do you have for the prizes? What should give us some ideas here?
So personally, I like the idea of the 500 and then $500 prizes.
I do too.
I just wonder, like, I just feel like you need something big to get people to call in.
Okay, give us an example of what
prize isn't
that
really
would
going
look
to
like.
do it for most, I would think, but I don't know, like what $500 prize would be, like, make people call in.
So when Dustin's team did the giveaway, they gave away 3 $500 prizes. They gave away a ticket to the Braves game. They gave a couple of nights in a cab. I can't remember what all it was, but each one was equaling $500. They did a Delta ticket for $500, anywhere that $500 would take them. I think something like that. So,
and I think the other one was some type of boat ride or something.
We just got to be creative. We got to say to ourselves, hey, I'm going to start making some calls, and hey, we're going to be there's going to be a call-in day from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock on the 23rd. We're going to be reaching out to you several times between now and then to update you on exactly what the prizes are going to be. There's going to be there's going to be over $1,000 worth of prizes. Tune in, right?
Sure.
So we don't have to give them every little bit. I mean, if somebody were to call me today and say, hey, at 12 o'clock on 2.5 weeks from now, I want you to call in. I don't know. It's got to be more than one message. So don't.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
What we like today, like, because just to get us involved and to start our kind of campaign early, why don't we all put up a poll, like, on our social media? Hey, giveaway coming soon, $500. What would you like to see? To see what people are saying to get like, more than likely, some people will all say the same thing. Not everyone, but maybe guess it, like, get the gifts maybe around that. And if we do 3 $500 gifts, then we know exactly what people want versus us trying to figure it out.
You know what? We should have just asked you at 8 o'clock this morning. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I agree.
That works on so many other ways, because remember when we were focusing on kind of doing the Peloton, that literally took out, if you have people who are out of state. So if we were doing that giveaway and because it was so big, that made us stay only in Georgia. Now that if you're doing a cash giveaway or whatever, depending on what people want, people who are moving down, they still have the opportunity to call in and potentially win to be your out of state client. So you're still pulling other people back in. So
I
it just
don't think
opens
we
up.
should limit. I don't think we should limit it to in-state people. You don't think
Well,
Peloton
The
sends
gifts
to New
were.
Jersey?
Yeah.
Remember when you were saying with
They-
the gifts, like it kind of needed to be, we were going to kind of filter for the people who were in Georgia because it was
Too
too
much
far.
hassle. If you're supporting us, this is a matter of supporting your business. If the Peloton or if the visit happens to go to somebody that lives outside of our area, so be it. I mean, who wants to spend 5 hours sorting through who's in Atlanta and who's not? None of y'all have time for that.
And the goal is not necessarily them, but who they know, because one of our script questions is, who do you know that we can call today about real estate? Who do you know who, or these are 3 of them, who do you know who might be interested in buying or selling a home in the near future? And who do you know who might be interested in a career in real estate? And yeah, I love the idea of $500 cash, but that's a RESPA potential violation because we can't buy leads, right?
Well, you
So,
can't pay anyone for what. Yeah.
yeah.
We
So
don't need to go
anyway,
in.
so a gift is different, but I think the cash is a little, that might be a little suspect for RESPA, and we definitely don't want to get in those weeds.
Okay, so what I'd like for everyone to do then is post something on your social media today and let them know that you're planning a big call-in event for the 23rd, and you are taking a poll on what a couple of special gifts would be, and to stay tuned for more details and to reserve the 23rd to call in, and that'll be the first teaser. And then throughout the day, as we get some answers, you can post them on the chat. Candace and I will make a decision, and we will have some answers for you by the end of the day.
Yep.
Is that cool?
So leave the price point off. Just what gift would you like to see?
Let's just leave it at that. I mean, I don't think I think people naturally will say the thing that they think is reasonable for that type of event. And if they do that, if they're like, oh, well, I'd like a $100 gift card to Amazon, and then we offer a $200 gift card to Amazon, that's surprising and delighting them, right? So if we say, hey, we want a $1,500 prize, what would you want? And then it turns out that we don't buy that, then they're like, this event sucks, I'm not going to support it.
I agree.
What did you ask us to put on our Facebook for today?
You're basically letting your people know that you're going to be participating in an event on the 23rd.
I would say,
and there's going to be
hosting an event. I would say hosting an event. Make yourself the king of the event, or the queen
okay.
of
So
the event.
I will post the message on our chat here in a second with essentially what to say. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And Corey, I posted in the PC help, and I'll post it again, the steps for the reverse bold. Right now, we don't have a buy-in from anybody unless people start to get sponsors. And I'll just say, I call sponsors all the time, and they love to participate because it opens up business for them. For most vendors, it's a form of advertising, and to be able to advertise to our group of however 80 some odd people in our group for $50 or $100 is no big deal. I call people and I'm like, hey, you want to sponsor a breakfast for the productivity coaching group? We'll make sure you get a chance to talk about what you're doing. And there's about, we have probably a core group of about 20, 30, 40 people who will pay attention. And but you can definitely, we'll definitely shop it out to the whole group. And they're like, sure. I mean, I never get a no, ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Just a quick caveat. You cannot ask a home inspector, I'm sorry, you cannot ask a lender. You cannot ask a home warranty company, and you cannot ask a closing attorney.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are what we call alliance partners. They pay our office each month for exclusivity from a marketing standpoint. So no warranty, no closing attorney, and no lender can be sponsored or kind of put on a pedestal, so to speak. Okay. I think the good opportunities here are probably insurance agents, home renovating kind of companies, and like termite companies, home inspectors would probably be really good. Painters, maybe, these kind of things.
So what are what would the sponsors be receiving in return exactly? So like a question, well, let me just, so like if everybody here was participating and they each got a sponsor, would that sponsor receive some sort of promotion on that agent's promotions only, or would it, are we promising to each of these sponsors that they would get promotion for the whole program? So whatever I forgot the name of the company, Candace, that's doing the marketing around this.
Leverage. It used to be Churchwell, only because Andrew from the Piedmont Company is out of town. Otherwise, I've called him first.
I think it's a matter of like, as we are all doing the drawings, we're saying, hey, and thank you so much for our sponsors. So-and-so home warranty or a home inspection company, and so-and-so insurance agency or whatever. There's no promise of business. As soon as if we get some additional names, then we can put that on the collateral. It's exposure. I mean, it's marketing dollars. They can either say yes or no.
But so to be clear,
my idea is that their logo would be on the ad that we all post.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like they do have brand promotion, but it would be it would be like a logo soup of all of the different vendors is what we call it, kind of. So like it would be brought to you by, what all of the different ones. So it looks like really huge, like a huge deal, kind of when people are seeing that promotion.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So I would say if you choose to get additional resources, then, there's so many different ways we could sit here all day and talk about this thing. And part of me wants to say, if you go through the effort to go get 5 vendors and you've raised $500, then you should just do a drawing for your people for the $500, right? So what do you think about that? We raised $1,000. We give away a $500-600 gift and a couple hundred dollar gifts, like the dinner for 2 or spa package or something like that. And if you want to go raise some money or donate some money on your own to buy some gifts, then you can hold your own drawing on that day specifically for your team. And that saves us a whole bunch of effort of like gathering logos and all this kind of stuff, because we're going to be in Orlando anyway next week.
And the other part about that is there are people that are new on here who don't have the budget and might not have the business yet to have sponsors. So we don't want them to not be able to participate. So I love that idea, Bill.
Okay, let's restate that. Make sure I've got some buy-in on that. What's your question?
Okay, so from the recording that you provided here on the WhatsApp, watching that, they were saying the number of callers that will come in, you definitely have to have some help. I'm not exactly clear on that. I don't think one person, at least for myself, would be able to manage it successfully. So can we talk more about that? On that day from 8 to 4, when people are calling in, if it's just one person, that's not going to work out very well if you've got more calls coming in than you can handle. So I know they were saying you need to set up a rollover type of call and have other bodies that can answer those calls for you.
I suppose you could do that. I don't think I would do, this is just my personal opinion. I don't think I would like put out a different number for them to call that's like a Ring Central number that would then forward to some other thing. I think I would just change my voicemail that day and say, as you can imagine, we're getting a lot of calls. Please leave the following information. I will call you back today. You are entered into the contest. Something like that.
Keep it simple. I like that. Okay.
Keep it simple. Right. So, hey, I appreciate your call. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to chat with you. Likely on the other phone right now. I'll be manning this phone all day. I will be back in touch with you. You are registered. Thank you.
So how does that work though? How does that work if you have 5 people call at the same exact time? One person
they all get the
goes to
voicemail.
Oh, okay. So I've never have had multiple people call at the same time, so I wasn't sure.
I mean, I don't know if I have
You
either,
think,
but
you think, or you know that if 5 people call the same phone number at the same exact time, they would all go to voicemail?
So here's,
I guess I don't understand. I don't know the answer to that exactly.
Yeah, I
However,
don't
what I would
either.
say is if somebody really wants to win a Peloton, they'll probably try to call it 2 or 3 minutes later and they'll probably catch you. So
Mm, okay.
let's let's try to make this simple. So let me restate what I
Right.
said. We have $1,000. Candace and I, you guys are going to post this thing today, and we're going to get some ideas on who's going to, what kind of gifts we're going to get. We will report to you what those are and maybe an image of them so that you can start to have some collateral to start to advertise. Okay. If you want to make calls before that type of thing is ready, then you can say, hey, we've got $1,000, possibly more of prizes. Tune into my Facebook page as we announce what they are or whatever, right? And then just tease them, give them something to look forward to, right? And then if you want to do an experiment where 5 people call you at once and you can see what happens, we got 2.5 weeks to pull that off. Okay. I would change my voicemail that day to say, like what I had just said. Once we know how many people are committed, I think Candace and I might agree to do some type of, let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people committed. If we were to get, this isn't a promise because I want more than 7 people to participate, but if all of you get 100 people that call in that day, maybe Candace and I will do some type of surprise gift, right? Remember, this is all in an effort to have conversations, right? So the conversation to invite them to it is just as valuable as the conversation on that day, or the conversation to follow up and say, hey, so sorry you missed it. I'm sure you got tied up or forgot about it or something like that. We'll probably be doing another event like this in a couple of months with another drawing. But meanwhile, while I got you on the phone, is your email this? Is your address this, right? There's nothing like overly special about them calling in on that day. The point is it's a big fat $1,000 carrot to get on the phone with them. Does that make sense?
and the calls coming in are going to be directly related to your efforts beforehand. And
I was
don't think,
just about to say that. Can you go into a bit more detail on that, please?
yeah, I think if you do a Facebook ad, maybe for $10, and reach, maybe run it for the weekend before, that's one way. You can do that through command. We've got lots of videos on that. If you do an email blast to your database, what are you laughing
at? Nothing.
Okay. If you do an email blast to your database, if you start calling everyone in your database to to let them know, and then you reinforce it every single week, you're going to have people calling in. If you don't do anything and the day before go, hey, I'm giving a giveaway,
you won't have 5 people calling you at once. You won't have that problem.
but you can come and watch, and you're welcome.
Well, you can come in and call 100 people that day. Let's pretend like you get deathly sick for the next 2.5 weeks and you're starting to feel awesome on the 23rd. Just come in that room and make some calls that day. The whole idea is we want to normalize having professional real estate conversations with our peers.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you can still, when you make your 100 calls, you can say, the reason I'm calling you is because we're doing a big drawing today, and I want to make sure you're registered for it. That's all you would do.
Okay, so I've got
Bill,
I've got
and
Ebony,
Candace,
Crystal,
thank you so
Lorinda.
much.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Crystal.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for putting this together and making it a community event, because after I watched the post on the WhatsApp, I was like, okay, this is great. And so thank you for making it easier to do this. I can definitely see the benefit and looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So I've got Jenny, Melissa, Teria, Ryan, Lorinda, Crystal, and Ebony is confirmed. If you would like, if you want to do it and didn't hear your voice, didn't hear your name, just type it into the chat. And why don't we spend, Candace, why don't we talk a little bit about the Ignite stuff we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, so we want to start, one of the things we're really invested in is that everybody has a check every month, right? At least one. And especially for agents who have been working and haven't seen that happen. So one of the things that Tracy inspired yesterday when she talked about the what she learned at Ignite, the daily standards of 10, 10, 10, and 4, which is Tracy, thank you. It's Tracy, you want to talk about those? You want to tell everybody what the 10, 10, 10, the 10, 4 is from Ignite? Are you on there?
Yes.
Okay, good. So tell us what the 10, 4 means, because these are going to be our daily standards. I hope that everybody will listen to this and make this your one thing for every single day. And we're going to repeat this a lot because it works.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about me, Candace?
Didn't you talk about Ignite 2.0, or was that Lorinda?
No, it was Lorinda. I haven't done
Lorinda. Okay, Lorinda, you inspired it. You want to tell us what the 10-4 is? I get a buy. I turned 65 in October.
No worries.
All right, where's Lorinda? All right, I'll do it.
Okay.
10-4 is from Ignite 2.0. Okay. By the way, Ignite 2.0 is free. It does not count for CE credit, but it is free. It's at the office in person, and they have a Zoom option as well on kwroswelltraining.com. Okay. The idea is that it's the idea of winning the day, basically. Okay. And what they're suggesting is 10 contacts per day, 10 database ads per day. That's pretty aggressive, but 10 per day, 10 handwritten notes per day. You can write notes to the people you chat with, obviously.
The notes is actually per week.
Per week, 10 notes per week. Okay. And then viewing 10 properties per week as well. So that goes into the two sides of the business, right? The activity side of the business and the learning side of the business, right? So by default, I would say that should be your standard. If your standards are beyond that, or you're dual career and you don't have time for that or something, then what we'd really like you to do is establish what are the standards of your real estate business so that we can start to develop some habits that are in alignment with those. So for example, maybe a standard of your business is that in the course of you talking to those 10 people each day, that you don't go to bed until you talk to 10 people, right? Or of the
Bill,
10 people that you're
Bill,
going to
can
add
I
to
interrupt for just a second?
Yeah.
So I was talking with Robin yesterday, and she said, so she was talking about level of commitment, and we were talking about level of commitment for agents in the office. And she said, for instance, Candace, I haven't made any phone calls today to have agents come in because part of her job is growing the office. She said, so I'm going to be here until I make my numbers. I'll be here at the office calling until I make my numbers. That's our team leader. All we have, and look where she is. And she, when she was in production, was about a $450,000 a year producer. So when we can mimic the pattern of success, I think that's powerful. And our team leader is setting the example for us.
You know, that brings another idea to mind, which is this idea, like, I want you guys to think back on a different job that you've had, like when you worked for a corporation or a company and you had a supervisor or whatever. And there were times where you probably had to say to yourself, oh, I got to stay a little late this week or tonight because I'm finishing up this project. Or like, oh my gosh, it's tax time, so it's really busy around this time or whatever, right? And there were moments that caused you to that caused an impact or a change in your behavior because people were counting on you, right? And you had responsibilities that needed to get accomplished. And oftentimes I see that almost completely disappears when you go out on your own. And I'm not sure why that is, but I'm going to ask you and I'm going to challenge you. You should be more committed to doing the behaviors for yourself than for somebody else, right? So why is that so important that you not go home until you make your 10 contacts. It's because that drives your business, right? And if your business moves forward, then you make more money and have more fun. If you don't hit those numbers, it doesn't happen. What do you guys hear when you hear the word standard? Is this, do you buy into it? Do you think that would be helpful in your business at all to be able to check it out? For example, by the way, standards, once you accomplish them, you accomplish them by 11 o'clock in the afternoon, well, go do whatever you want. You've won the day. You're on track.
Reverse bold, if you have 100 people calling in, we'll take care of your whole week.
That's
You can
right.
you can go to the beach.
You know, interestingly enough, I'm leaving next Thursday to go down to Orlando, and I won't be back until next Tuesday night, right? So I'm out of town for 6 days. So reverse bold 100 would be like, well, duh, if I can't make calls the rest of the week, then I got no choice but to do a reverse bold 100, right? So I want you to think about standards in that way. Like if you're going to go out of town for a week, it doesn't mean you get to skip a whole week. You still got the goals. All right, what are you guys hearing here?
Is it something you want to do to keep those standards in your business so that you know that you have a check every month?
Yeah, Bill, I mean, it definitely speaks to me. It's a little more difficult just because I'm dual career. So navigating that has definitely been a challenge. But, we all need to have a minimum standard to what we work with. And if we don't, we're not going to have that business. So
I would encourage you then to pick a standard that is more in alignment with the time frame that you've got, right?
Sure.
So if you're
Yeah,
dual
absolutely.
career and you can dedicate an hour and a half to your business every day, then maybe cut all that stuff in half. And then once you get it going and you do it, you check it off and you're getting some momentum and you're happy, then go from 5 contacts a day to 7 and see how that works, right? Or go from adding 1 person to the pipeline to adding 2 people to the pipeline. So start small if you need to. But I don't care if you got 3 minutes a week to dedicate to real estate, you need some standards.
Bill?
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Bill?
I make 1 call a week. All right, cool. That's what you do.
Can I share?
Please.
Bill? Okay, so for me personally, my challenge is making the contacts on a daily basis. So for me, when I hear this standards, yes, it sounds great in theory, but the idea is just like anything else we do, if it's not a habit, it won't happen regularly. So I love the idea that we're doing this reverse bold because it's creating a group, it's creating accountability, it's creating momentum. I think for me, the biggest breakthrough, and this may be true for a lot of other agents, the more we do something, the greater the chances it will become a habit and then become a standard.
Love it.
So I would like to see things like this more frequently, group participation, because, that's my biggest fault. It's just like, great, I'm gonna have 3 closings this month and then nothing in the pipeline thereafter because I haven't been making my calls regularly. So just a little thing to consider. I'd like to see more of this.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. I think that's exactly true. It's and you guys have seen me draw that kind of vertical rectangle looking thing, right? Where at the top of the kind of looks like this, right?
Yeah, the peaks and valleys. Yeah, we're the peaks and valleys. Absolutely.
Well, that's the result of what you just described, which is dealing with all the business and forgetting that you got to go find business every day. So it's like this little picture right here, right? Where you have every one of you guys got 2 jobs from a real estate perspective. If you've got another job, now you got 3 jobs. Okay. So job number 1, that's lead generation. You got to lead generate every single day. You got to show up to the job every single day. Many of us, we wake up and we go straight here, this little square here, which is everything else, right? Checking email, text, social media, watching files, deadlines, etc., showing property, writing offers. Problem is if you spend all your time here and you don't leave this job, so to speak, and go to this job, your income is going to go like this, your anxiety is going to go like this, your mental health is going to go like this, your bank account balance is going to go like this, right? So if we just focus every day on a certain amount of lead generation, ideally prior to you even opening your emails where other people are going to, you know, try to put their priorities in front of yours, right? Your biggest priority is growing the business. All this can wait 2 hours, I promise you. Okay. So if you don't have a steady stream of prospects, it's because you haven't been showing up to this job. It's that simple. You have a lead issue. Makes sense? So you know what? Yeah, please.
No, you can finish up.
I was gonna say when in a perfect world, what will happen is at 5:15 on that day, after we've all done the Facebook Lives and somebody won all the cool stuff, we're going to walk out of that big training room with 10 to 15 people that have a amazing level of new confidence about moving their business forward, right? They feel more comfortable on the phone. They feel more comfortable asking questions. They feel more comfortable interacting with a bunch of people of different, you know, personality profiles and all that stuff. And they've spent the entire day with a bunch of people who want to see them win. And I think when you take that energy out of the room, that's priceless. All right, Markia.
Yes, I was just wanted to share, like, in regards to the standards and making your business as if you're working for someone. And like, I made a dedication to make sure I got out the house by 8 o'clock, just to do something with real estate, go to the office, or just at least be around the environment, just so I can make sure that I uphold myself to my schedule that I have set for. So trying to treat it as if I'm my own boss and I have different times to meet for myself.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, at your other job, Markia, well, the other job you used to have, right? You were expected to dress a certain way. You were expected to be there at a certain time. You're expected to answer the phone a certain way. You were expected to, you know, deal with your numbers and your files and all that, right? I mean, this is no different.
Correct. That's why when I came out the house this morning, I'm like, oh, do I just put on jeans? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna dress up. So
right.
It changes your attitude. It changes your confidence level. If you meet somebody by chance, you're ready for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't tell you, it seemed like it was like a given that if I went straight from my workout clothes, from a workout where I was just drained and, you know, dilapidated, I would go to the grocery store. I was like, I'm just gonna pick up one thing. And for sure I would see somebody I knew, and I just wanted to shrink back into, you know, on the one hand, I was proud because I was showing I worked out, but on the other hand, yeah, it wasn't the best way to meet somebody. So I think getting up and getting dressed is that's part of you being a business owner. I love that, Markia. Great way to set.
Okay. So I will post this message on or a message that you can tweak a bit to put on your social media. We will once you get some answers, go ahead and fill them into the chat so we can do some thinking on that stuff. Candace and I will make a decision and give you that list of what's going on. If you feel comfortable making calls to your network and raising some additional funds for some additional exposure, then you can give privately, you know, some additional gifts. Let's say your buddy owns I don't know, a restaurant or something, and you want to give a dinner for 2 out, or, you know, maybe your friend is a massage therapist or something, and you want to offer a spa package or something. You can do any of that on your own that you'd like. If you have not RSVP'd, please let us know. And tomorrow we'll continue to go through some dialogues and, you know, make sure everyone's comfortable with the questions that we're going to be prepared to ask. Again, don't get too caught up in you have to call on this day. The point is it's like a client event. I don't really care if the person comes to the client event. I'm using the client event as a way to have a great interaction with them. I don't care if it's prior to the client event, at the client event, after the client event, it's irrelevant. The point is what are we offering them in exchange for some information, ideally some referrals and some updated contact information.
And I think this is a great way to kick off the daily standards, because remember your 10 contacts a day don't have to be phone calls. They can be emails where somebody responds back. They can be social media where somebody's responding to your survey about the giveaway. What do you want to see? That's a contact, right? So any exchange where you're able to be top of mind in real estate is a win.
Okay, let's play a game. We're going to go around very quickly. We're going to go around and you're going to tell me what is your standard for today. And when you're done with it, I want you to post it in the chat today. Okay, so be specific. Tell me how many homes you're going to go look at, or how many people you're going to call, or what project you're going to finish, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. It matters that you say you're going to do it and then you're going to do it. Okay, real quick, Markia.
My standard for today is to make at least 15 calls and preview at least 2 homes today in the Sandy Springs area.
Beautiful, beautiful. Melissa cannot speak at the moment, but she is finding a rental for a new client on a search. Beautiful. Let us know again when that happens. Teria.
My standard for today is to contact 5 people and preview 1 house.
Excellent. Love that. All right. Tracy.
My standard for today is I have a 12 o'clock today where I'm going to preview a property for an open house that I'm doing on Saturday. And I will be making 10 calls today, preferably some for sell by owners.
Excellent. Excellent. Corey.
Hi. My standard today is to contact at least 10, ideally 15. And then I'm finishing revising my buyer's guide. I'm adding in ways that can be, that will help buyers to be competitive in the marketplace when putting in their offers, just incorporating a lot of the information we talked about last week in the team meeting. So yeah, so, and then I'm starting on my revising my listing presentation as well, but I want to get the buyer's guide finished.
I love that. By the way, I love how everyone is saying my standard is. I love hearing that. Great use of the language. Crystal.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to say my standard is I have a $600,000 cash buyer that we have run into appraisal issues on the 1st and the 2nd. We didn't get our offer accepted yesterday. So I have selected all 171 homes within the subdivision that they want to live. And my standard is I'm going to make and contact every single qualifying home in that subdivision so that I can put these people under contract.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. Just make sure when you're, don't eliminate, don't be too specific on the phone with those people that you miss an opportunity for them when you're trying to find an opportunity for the buyer. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I've been eliminating a lot of homes that aren't large enough because I've got to get them under contract. They're going to be here on the 21st and I don't want them to be homeless and I've got to find them a home. So I hear what you're saying, but right now I just got to lock these people in onto something because I don't want them going into a rental.
Neither do I. All right, Sarita.
So my standard is to practice the script since I am so brand new and walking back into real estate. So practicing the scripts today and also calling at least 10 people.
Okay, beautiful.
Love
so when you're doing the practicing your scripts,
thank you.
I would encourage you to say, I will practice my scripts for 10 minutes or 30 minutes, right? That way, you're training your brain to speak clarity, and then it's being accomplished, right?
All right, absolutely. Speaking into existence. I definitely know detail.
But
Got you.
specifically. Okay, first page, I think I'm done. Michael.
Okay, today I'm gonna go to the Homeward training session, and I've got a couple that are clients of mine that I think would really benefit from that service. So trying to find just make sure I'm comfortable with what I'm gonna tell them, and gonna to actually meet with them tomorrow.
Love your
Excellent.
Keller Williams shirt.
I was about to say the same thing.
Thank you.
Love that. All right, Ryan.
I have a list of 12 people that I definitely want to speak to and another 10 that I would like to speak to. If I can get that time in there, because I also have some other things, but I plan to do 3 equity analyses today.
I love it. All right, Jenny.
I plan on contacting 10 people today.
Neha.
I will try to contact 3 people today, and I will 3 show these by this end of this week. I'm very slow, but I will get into habit slowly and slowly.
The habit has got nothing to do with the actual thing, right? So the habit could be I check the numbers of how many homes went on the market. Like, I don't care how long it takes or how important it is. It's the commitment to doing it. So don't tell yourself you're slow. Just tell yourself what you're committed to and do it.
Okay.
Right? You're the one that's defining whether that's slow or not. You don't have to do that. Just say, hey, I'm going to talk to 3 people today, and go do it. Don't worry about whether 3 people is a lot or not a lot.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Will.
You're welcome. Okay, I think I got everybody, right? Candace, what about you?
I am going to be calling sponsors to, by the way, don't call Kern or Kathy because they're our sponsors for the giveaway, but I'm going to be working on the reverse bold today.
Awesome. Okay, and my standard is I am going to add 5 people to my database today. Okay, thank you guys. I know today we kind of went in a lot of different directions. I think the important thing to do is you got to ask yourself, I wrote this phrase down a week or 2 ago, and I've said it a lot lately, although probably not too much to you guys, which is you have to be more compelled, right, than you are uncomfortable. So you got to ask yourself, like, why did I get into this business in the first place? Who was I trying to help? What did I want to earn? Why was that important to me? All that kind of stuff, right? So you have to be more compelled to do that activity than you are uncomfortable. Make sense? All right. I appreciate all of you. I'm very, very grateful to be in business with you. I appreciate your commitments to the Reverse Bold 100. I'm excited to assist you in as you're growing your business and building your confidence. So you guys have a wonderful day.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for being here. Bye, Bill. Thank you.
Bye-bye.